Hey guys, welcome back. So a few months ago I watched a video on FordTechMakuLoco's channel, and the video was about Fram air filters and why not to use them on your Ford. And he brings up three very good points that I agree with. But I also wanted to tell you about my experience for the past 10 years running these Fram air filters on my 2004 Crown Victoria. So in FordTechMakuLoco's video, he's talking about these Ford genuine Motorcraft air filters, and he says that the paper media is a lot stronger and durable. He says the glue is better and they use more of it, and the sealing gasket is more durable and thicker, and it holds up better over time. And I agree with that. All three of those things are correct. The Fram is a little bit more flimsier. The gasket is not as thick as the Motorcraft, and the paper, and the glue. I guess there's less glue holding this thing together. But I know this doesn't matter, but the Fram, it has this fancy little chain link fence on the top of it. I'm sure that's not for filtering. I'm sure it's just for structural rigidity. The Motorcraft, it doesn't have that chain link fence thing. So the second point that he comes up with, or that he says, is that if you've got a brand new vehicle or a brand new engine and it's under warranty, you definitely want to use the Motorcraft, because if you get in a warranty situation and the dealer or the insurance company finds out you are using a non-genuine product, they just might deny your insurance claim, and then you've got to buy your own engine or pay for the damages out of pocket. So if you've got a brand new vehicle under warranty, definitely use the Motorcraft. The next point he says is that he says these Motorcraft filters are really over-engineered, because if these things fail, Ford would have to pay out damages. So he said they do a really good job on construction and materials to make sure these things don't fail, whether they collapse or whatever. And I would have to agree with them on that. So let me tell you why I started using these Frams. When I got my 2004 Crown Victoria back in 2009, I went to the dealer because I needed to get a key made and programmed, and I couldn't find the 5-digit sticker for the door pad code for the keypad entry on the door. So I was at the dealer for that, and then I walked over to the parts department to get an air filter because I just got the car. And the parts guy threw it on the table and he says, "Okay, that'll be $30. And I'm thinking to myself, $30 for an air filter? That sounds kind of high. So as ashamed and embarrassed as I was, I said, you know what, let me hold off on that because I knew I was going to Walmart, maybe 2 miles down the road after I was done, to pick up some oil. So at the Walmart, I saw this. I looked up the air filters, and back in 2009, these were, $4.70. And so I'm thinking, a Fram for less than $5, or the genuine Motorcraft for $30. And I was like, you know what? I'll just go with the Fram and save $25. So that's what I did. And that's what I've been doing for the past 10 years. Once a year, every 12,000 miles, I've been installing these Frams, and I've never had a problem. I guess I've been lucky. I haven't had anyone come apart. And I know my engine is running okay, because on my last road trip with the Crown Vic, I got 28 miles per gallon. And remember, that's setting my cruise control at 65 miles an hour. That's how I'm able to get that mileage. That's key. Setting the cruise at 65 miles an hour and just being patient. And that was before I discovered the Lucas fuel additive and the Marvel mystery oil additive. So I've started using the Lucas in that, and I haven't taken a trip to test it out, but I'm hoping I get over 30 miles per gallon on my next road trip in the Crown Vic. So fast forward 10 years later, you know, it's 2019, and FordTechMakuLoco brought up a good point. He says they sell these things on Amazon for cheaper than he can get them at his cost at his local dealer. And so I got this on Amazon about a week ago. This was $13.68. So over the past 10 years, these things have dropped in price dramatically. You know, there it is, Motorcraft FA1783 for $13.68. And oh, I should mention, you know, this is a pretty popular filter. It fits pretty much every Panther vehicle. Crown Vic Grand Marquis town car from 1987 to 2011. And it even fits the old Broncos and the old E150 vans and some of the old F-150 trucks. So this time around, both of my Panthers are due for their annual air filters, and then so I got one of these Motorcrafts, and I bought a brand new Fram. I'm going to try one in each car and just see how it works out. One other thing to mention is I set on this Fram, I mean, right on the box it says change it at 12,000 miles. And on this Motorcraft, it doesn't say anything. There's no mileage. Advisory on here. So I looked in my owner's manual. This is my maintenance service guide for my 04 Vic. And it doesn't say anything about replacing the air filter. It says it right there, replace engine air filter. And it doesn't mention it until 30,000 miles. So what I'm assuming is that this genuine air filter is supposed to last 30,000 miles. So, I mean, compared to this, you know, that's probably going to last twice as long, 2 years, where this is lasting 1 year, 12,000 miles. So that's how I was able to justify this purchase. You know, it's almost double the price, but it should last twice as long, 2 years, 30,000 miles. One other optional tip I wanted to give you is that if you're doing this yourself and you're changing your air filter on your Crown Vic or your Panther, this here is the bottom half of the air box, and when I remove these clips, I can always take it off pretty easily. But when I'm putting it back on, you know, getting these brackets lined up with the top half, I always have trouble getting this last little tooth in there, and it always rubs on the anti-lock brake lines, the lines going into the ABS brain. And so what I figured out is easier is I just remove this whole thing. It's just 3 11mm bolts, and then you got to loosen the 8mm hose clamp at the top. And then this is from my 2010 Merc, and so it just has that quick disconnect PCV hose. On the Crown Vic, it's just a press fit in there. So I just take this whole thing out. And another optional tip is I clean the bottom half of the air box. Well, it's clean now, but this is what was in there. This was a clean paper towel, and I just wipe out all the fine micron dust just to give my filter a head start at staying clean. And then here's another optional tip. If you want to go the extra mile, they sell this mass airflow cleaner for your mass airflow sensor, and throttle body air intake cleaner. And you know, maybe if you've got a rough idle or a drivability issue or a hesitation issue, you might want to clean off your mass airflow sensor and clean up your throttle body when you got all this stuff off. And keep in mind, remember, if you've got a Panther 05 to 2011, you're going to have that electronic fly-by-wire throttle, and you really do want to play it safe and remove the throttle body from the vehicle, you know, after you've disconnected the battery, because, you know, just like FordTechMakuLoco said, these things are electric motors with a gear reduction, and if you stick your finger in there past the butterfly, you might not get your finger back. And then even if you've got the old, you know, 04 and older, you know, with the mechanical linkage, you know, you really need to take that thing off to do a decent job. You know, it's just a few minutes taking it off, and you can do a much better job cleaning it up. Oh yeah, one other thing I wanted to mention: the Motorcraft filter, the genuine Ford. Right there it says made in USA. And I know what you're thinking. The Fram right there, made in Mexico. So that's maybe why it's so cheap. But check this out. This is the old Fram air filter from my Crown Vic. And I thought this was interesting. Look at that. Product of USA. So maybe maybe this one was made in the USA and the new ones are made in Mexico. Who knows? Okay, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.